This is Mrs. O'Neill for Chapter 11, Section 2, Part 3, your practice problems. So make sure to have that flow chart out because we're going to do a little review first, but make sure to have that flow chart out. Again, the more you use it, the more times you go through the process, the easier it will be to identify the type of reaction. So let's look at these examples. First, I'm going to have you label or classify each of the substance in each of the reactions as an element or a compound, and hopefully that will help us be able to identify the type. And you know me, I like to usually go in order, hint, 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 as we learn it, because I feel like if you learn it in one order, it's easier than to go back through your memory and go, oh yeah, that was the very first one that we learned. All right, so if we look at the first reaction, we have HF. I see one capital letter, so that's going to be an element. N2, even though it's a diatomic molecule, it's still an element because I only see one capital letter. And then this HF3N4, which would be hafnium nitride. I see two capital letters, so that's going to be a compound. So here, elements and compounds per se might not help us, but if you use your flow chart, if one of the questions says, hey, is there only one product, one thing to the right, should be a ding, 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 a combination reaction. And I just kind of simplify that with a capital C. All right, here we go. The second one, two capital letters, so that's going to be a compound. I see one capital letter element. Again, one of those diatomics, but it's still only one capital letter, so that's going to be an element. Again, elements, compounds might not help me here, but I do see one compound, one thing to the left of the arrow, one reactant, so that's going to be a decomposition reaction, and I kind of simplify that with a capital D. All right, SB would be considered a element, and hopefully you're doing this along with me. H2O would be a compound. You should know that by now. Two capital letters there is going to be a compound, and of course hydrogen, that diatomic molecule, but since it only has one capital letter, we're going to label it as an element. Now this one we really need to concentrate on more. Now I see an element and a compound on the left, and I see a compound and an element on the right. Let me say this, not sure if I said this in the other video, but it doesn't matter the order. If I see an element and a compound on the left and I see an element and a compound on the right, ding, 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 it's going to be a single replacement reaction SR. But I want to also say that it doesn't matter the order. It could be element compound or compound element on the reactant side. It could be compound element or element compound on the product side. It doesn't matter the order, but you do need one of each on both sides. All right, this should be pretty easy to identify. I see all kinds of capital letters going on. So compound, 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 compound. I don't know about you, but two capitals or more, two capitals or more, two capitals or more, two capitals or more. They're all compounds. So again, ding, 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 or using your flow chart, you should come up with a double replacement. And again, I just use a DR for that. Now, this is that odd man out. This is the last reaction that we learned. So I see a compound, two capital letters, an element, a compound, and a compound. So this is one of those weird ones where we have an compound element on the left and two compounds on the right. But I want to bring your two compounds as a product to your attention. Remember, anything that reacts with oxygen would be burning. That means that your products are always going to be carbon dioxide and water. So again, ding, 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 this should be a combustion reaction. Remember, this one is not on your flow chart, and sometimes I abbreviate it as COM. All right, guys, so what I want you to do is do these practice problems. How are you going to do it? Make sure to pause the video. Make sure to use your resources to complete the practice problems. And I think, yes, I do. I show you 5 and 5. I'm just showing you the answers right up front because right now you should know how to balance. And again, if you're still having trouble, though, make sure to highlight or circle the ones that you're not going to get, that you don't have right, and you can ask me or another classmate in class. All right, and then play the video to check your answers. All right, so hopefully you paused the video, you used your resources, your balancing notes, your type of reaction notes, the flow chart, anything that you need to understand those answers. So now here's 1 through 5. So again, I just abbreviated here, but make sure that you have all of those correct coefficients. All right, and I'm going to go on to the next one. But again, if you have something wrong or still not understanding something, please star it or something so you can ask me or somebody else in class. And number 6 through 10. Hopefully you checked them over, you checked your type is correct as well as your coefficients. And if not, maybe you want to go back and rebalance or go back and use that flow chart. All right, guys, I have 2 questions for a short quiz. Again, pause, read, and can you come up with a answer A, B, C, or D? Hopefully you came up with A. And number 2, again, pause, read, come up with an answer. And this was a nice one because it was already balanced. Again, one of these weird ones that you might not always have to make that list. All right, guys, we will see you in class.